Hello again. Last time we spoke about the psychological things that happen in books, themes. You see, you think you're writing about something and sometimes you're writing about something else. And it's often said that you write to work out things in your life as well as explore things you're not sure of. Sometimes you do it deliberately, and other times it just happens and surprises you. So, when you've been writing for a while, you can look back over a number of books and see what themes are predominant. Now, last time I spoke about houses. The house is a metaphor for the soul and how we like to decorate our houses, like we decorate our lives. So this time let's look a little deeper into that, more of that psychology stuff I mentioned. Now I'm no expert, I may be wearing a psychology type hat and glasses, but I'm no expert. But there is unconscious stuff going on in writing. For instance, I didn't realize I was working on a theme about artists. Now, I can draw a little bit, but I've never painted a picture in my life, and yet I keep coming back to this artist theme, and it's generally a man. When I wrote the Prime Time series, Anna Mason, when she finally gave in and decided to have romance in her life, picked an artist. She also picked a younger man. Now, there's another theme going on. This artist, Lauren, was an amazing man, good bit younger. She resisted, but finally she succumbed to his art, which was really quite magical. Now, I had to describe all of this art. I mean, I'm not an expert in art either. I did my best, I enjoyed it, but I didn't even know why I was doing this. Now, recently I completed another series. I've spoken to you maybe about this one, the Starscope series. It starts in winter and goes through spring, summer, and fall. Now, I did it again. There are two artists in this story, two young men, one a little older, one younger, and they are artists at the College of Art in Glasgow. And again, I'm describing their work. One of them paints in a certain way, and the other one's very modernistic. So here I am, digging out of who knows where all this stuff about art and painting and how artists feel and how people respond to their work. So I obviously am working in some kind of theme. Maybe I'm a frustrated artist, who knows? But now that I'm conscious about this, I'm going to sort of try to work that down a bit and maybe not go back to the art theme again. So what other kinds of themes? There's quite a lot of them. I do use strong women wherever possible. I think that's because I feel strongly about women taking charge of their lives, and often they're not in a good position to do this. So whenever I can emphasize that, I do it deliberately. Older women, yes, of course. Well, that's natural for me. When I talk about older women with younger partners, there wasn't just Anna Mason. Vilma in the Home Sweet Home series that started with Harmony House, she had been married a couple of times before and wasn't interested in another relationship, but along came a lovely young man, and if you want to see what he looks like, he's on the cover of Harmony House. And he turned out to be a fairly troubled soul, and she turned out to be the person who could save him. So also this business of trouble in the background, maybe during your youth or during marriages, because not everything works out perfectly, does it? And we all have secrets and we all have problems to be solved. So all of this weaves its way through books. Now, one other thing that's come to me lately, and this may be partly choice and partly psychology, but first let me say that many people who write a memoir or a biography, an autobiography would be about themselves and their family. I did start to do this. And I got so far, and then I just came to a blank wall. I knew what was beyond that wall was a choice not to write further. And I know what that choice is. And instead of going into this memoir in a very personal way, I've decided to wrap it up a bit and write it in more of a fictional way. And that's going to be a series I will attempt to do in the winter between 2019 and 2020. It's called Family Matters, and I haven't done much more, but I know that it's going to be very powerful. So, what's this other theme that I'm pretty sure about? Cats. Dogs as well. In the Harmony House Home Sweet Home series, I had very powerful dog story going on. And tied up with that young gardener on the front cover. I've had dogs and I've had cats. Now you may say there are cat people and there are dog people in the world, and it could be true. I had cats and I've had them for years. My first 3, and it always seems to be 3, were like this. And today I have a very black cat, a tabby cat, and the third one is a Siamese. And the Siamese has turned out to be very important because I've just written a book about him. This is a series that was suggested to me called Cat Mystery Series, Cozy Cat Mysteries. I don't know what the heck that was. But the idea was given to me and I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And I knew I could write about this Siamese because I've got him in my house right now and he is Mr. Personality. So I didn't find this would be difficult. I've written the 2 books, and the 2 books will come out. The first book, Justine and the Psychic Connections, and the second one, Justine and the Cackling Catastrophe. Those 2 books will come out in this month of October. So that's been pretty fast writing. And that tells you that it was easy enough for me to do because I'm basically a cat person. Cats are one kind of animal. They're quite independent. They will love you, but only when they feel the time is right. They will comfort you when you need comforting. And they'll go about their way merrily doing other things the rest of the time. Dogs, another story. Dogs are very dependent. They need you. You need to be with them. You need a lot more supervision. So maybe there's 2 kinds of people after all. I seem to know which one I am, but I do love dogs as well. Ask my son. So, deep psychological issues going on. Now that I'm conscious, more conscious about this, I'll have to think very carefully about what I put in the next book. Keep reading.